Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Trangy Designed here with F1 2020 My Team Career Mode Round 14 at the Hermanos Rodriguez circuit in Mexico. The situation currently with points is up on the screen as we run right now. Currently 5 points ahead of our teammate Charles Leclerc, and well out of reach of Valtteri Bottas in that Mercedes. So now the championship is truly between me and Charles Leclerc. There is no third party that could possibly get in on this fight unless Bottas, Hamilton, Perez, or guys like last round, Perez almost winning it. He's 5th in the points, so it's very possible for spoilers to ruin our championship hope if they get in between me and Mr. Leclerc. So that is the situation. After this round, there's so many ways that this championship could go. It could go with us gaining more points over our teammate if we finish ahead of him, or it could lead with us losing points to move back down to second, or even some form of failure or something, and we end up just dropping out of the points race because of a mechanical failure or something, which is really not what we want. We don't want either cars not finishing this race, but we don't want this to come down to the wire, so we do need to do everything that we can in order to make sure that we have a little bit of a cushion going into that final round in Abu Dhabi, which is 2 rounds away, and then Season 3 begins. But without further ado, guys, enough talking. Let's get into it really quick before the video. If you guys do enjoy this race, please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. You guys can see the subs goal is still at 206. Sadly, no one has subscribed. So once again, guys, I just ask that you guys help me out. It lets me know that you guys really enjoy this, and that is what I want to see. So if you guys do want to subscribe, like, all that stuff, we will talk to you guys at the end of the video. Peace. Here we go, round 14 of 16 here in Mexico. The season is coming to an end, and it is crunch time for the championship. We now know where we need to finish, and we now know where Charles Leclerc, our teammate and championship rival, needs to finish for the rest of the season. So if we want to win this championship, we basically have to finish in front of our teammate from here on out. We are leading the championship, but not by much. So that is going to lead basically down to the wire. If we do not win today and Charles wins, he will get a few more points than us and will regain the championship lead, bringing this championship closer to the final round in Abu Dhabi. But here we go, flying lap. We just put down a 1:14.1 as a banker to go off of, and that already puts us in P1, so I am confused because Leclerc normally is extremely quick in that car, and he does not look very quick here today in qualifying, but down through the second DRS zone here in Mexico as we set a purple first sector. Once again, we are only up by 0.1, 0.2 now of a second going through the double right-hander and into the very, very fast Mexican S-corners. These are extremely quick, and the car has a very good chance of dancing around underneath you, and we do not want that. So you could see right there I was very skittish going through there, and that is not how it should be. That should be 7th gear, right around 3/4 throttle, full throttle. I was in 6 as we tapped the wall out of the final corner. Does not lose us much time, but you could see right there, right as I was talking, I understeered right into the wall. So that is something that we need to watch out for, is making sure to not understeer into that wall and breaking our front wing during the race, as that will probably put us into a very, very bad position in the race. But you can see we are almost a second up on our teammate, who must have only done one run, or something was wrong with his car, because normally he is much faster. And I want to say, throughout qualifying, he will bring that pace up. But it is myself, followed by Charles Leclerc, followed by Sebastian Vettel in that Ferrari. He is extremely quick here in Mexico for that Ferrari. You can see his teammate down in 13th with Daniel Ricciardo. But then there is Max Verstappen in the Red Bull, followed by Valtteri Bottas, who was the first man out on track in that black Mercedes AMG Petronas car. Then there's Perez, Norris, Albon, Ocon, and Lewis Hamilton, placing 10th out of qualifying 1. Very uncharacteristic lately of Mr. Hamilton. He is normally really good in the race, but qualifying, he has not been there. It's really been making him struggle in the races because he can't get a good start. But Daniel Kvyat, Pierre Gasly, Ricciardo, as I have already said, Stroll, Giovinazzi, and Sainz will all be moving on to qualifying 2. Russell, Magnussen, Ocon, Zhao, De Vries, and Latifi are all out here in qualifying 1. They will be starting from P17 to P22 on the grid, and I ended up not recording qualifying 2, but you can see right there it is wet. It is extremely wet. The rain came in and the skies opened up midway through qualifying 2. As you can see, we got a lap on softs, and just like that, our teammate is now in P1. It was Charles Leclerc, followed by Bottas and Hamilton, the 2 Mercedes, in 2nd and 3rd. So much better from Lewis Hamilton here in qualifying 2 as opposed to qualifying 1. Followed by Sergio Perez, who has really been pushing that Renault up the field. Then myself, Sebastian Vettel in that Ferrari, once again making it into qualifying 3. Carlos Sainz and Norris, the McLaren teammates, and then Kvyat and Verstappen in the sister Red Bull cars. That is your top 10 heading into qualifying 3. Pierre Gasly in the other AlphaTauri and Albon in the other Red Bull just missed out on making it into the top 10. Giovinazzi, Ocon, Ricciardo, and Stroll. That is it for those guys. They will not be going on, and they will be starting P11 to P16 on the grid. But our focus now is qualifying 3. We need a good qualifier to make sure that we have a good chance in the race. And once again, the rain did not hold off, and we are in a wet qualifying. Our engineer Jeff told us at the beginning it could very well be a wet qualifying session. I doubted it, and I am reaping those rewards as we struggled very badly in the first rain qualifier in qualifying 2, which very sadly got corrupted. I actually tried to get it into my software and it just did not want to go, so something went wrong with that recording and it did not go well. But you can see the traction is just not there in these monsters that are F1 cars. 1,000 wheel horsepower with the ERS system brings it up to, I want to say, 1,100. The ERS system is a very, very powerful tool for these cars, and you can see Lewis Hamilton actually now going fastest with a 126.1, so Hamilton in the wet looks a lot better than he did in the dry. But you can see, because of my dry setup, I am not planted right now. I do not have enough downforce to keep the car going where I want it to go, so I am being extremely cautious here on the very, very wet surface here in Mexico, but we still ended up going fastest. Once again, the AIs just are not strong here in Mexico. Last season they were much stronger than they are now, and that is very interesting to me because we are almost half a second faster than Lewis Hamilton in that Mercedes, and Leclerc with a third place grid start. Very uncharacteristic of him, as he normally is right up here with me if I place first. Normally we match each other's pace very well, but he is down in third. We're on pole. Lewis Hamilton separates the two purple cars, and then Max Verstappen in the Red Bull, the two McLarens fighting for position, only separated by about a tenth of a second. Valtteri Bottas in that other black Mercedes did not fare so well. He's down in seventh. Vettel, Perez, and Kvyat all the way down at the back of the top 10. So that is the grid now set for the Mexican Grand Prix, which will be dry the entire way through. It's going to be very overcast, but it will be dry. So we don't need to worry about the rain coming in and mixing everything up, but we do need to worry about how fast these guys will be. Race pace is much different than qualifying pace, and sometimes they can actually be faster than their qualifiers. So we don't ever want to underestimate these AIs, because they will surprise you. I have a feeling Hamilton could very well get a good start and be up our inside and possibly get us going into that first corner. But we do have to watch out for Leclerc behind, as he will have slipstream. This is very much like Russia. Russia has a very, very long start straight, if you guys remember from round 12, I want to say that was. And
it's time to race in Mexico City.
If you started on pole, like I am right now, pole position gives everyone behind you the advantage because you have no slipstream. Everyone else behind you does. So you are basically a sitting duck. And we do not want to be a sitting duck heading into that first corner. As you can see, that finish line is all the way up at the top of the screen right now, and just after turn 17, that's where the finish line is. Turn 1 is all the way over on the right hand side. That is a very, very long start straight, and it is going to get interesting going into that first corner. So we're hoping for a really, really good jump off of the line and trying to build a gap before that first corner, as to not allow for a move heading into the first corner. But here is round 14 in Mexico. There is the points once again. That is only 5 points separating me and my teammate, but that is enough talking for me currently. Here is the rundown of the grid for today's race here in Mexico. We will talk to you guys on the line.
The grid lineup for today's race. Iceman lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Carlos Sainz, and Norris, Bottas, Vettel, Perez, and Daniel Kvyat. Gasly, Giovinazzi, Esteban Ocon, and Ricciardo, Stroll, Russell, Jack Aitken, and Guan Yu Zhou, De Vries, Albon, Magnussen, and Nicholas Latifi. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
So you saw right there, the last 3 or 4 guys had place penalties, or grid penalties. They must have had to switch out components on their cars, but that really hurt them because they were actually in much better qualifying positions than what they just finished in because of those grid penalties. So, with that being said, they might have an advantage coming up through the pack because of their better cars in a way. Cars wear in this game, so because they just put on fresh components on their car, they very well could have the advantage over myself, who has a fairly worn car. I think I'm running right around 30-35% wear on all of my components in my motor right now, so I might be at a disadvantage to my own teammate and the guys behind me, but I might not be. They could have more wear than me. They could not. Don't know yet. We will find out. But 5 lights are coming up here soon. for the start of the Mexican Grand Prix. We are hoping for a good launch, but here we go. 3, 4, there's 5 lights. Lights out, and away we go at the Mexican Grand Prix. You can see we get a really good launch with everyone following behind. Hamilton side by side with us. I pull off to the left to give these guys room. Here comes Leclerc up the middle, separating me and Hamilton. He's going to end up pushing us wide. I'm going to avoid that. And Verstappen comes up the inside and goes right around all of us. I'm going to try and go around Hamilton, who got a really bad run out of that final right-hander out of the chicane. He's forcing the issue, trying to stay around the outside, but we can't let Leclerc get away. So I try to make sure that Hamilton does not get by us around the outside. You can see the yellow flag coming up because everyone's getting crushed into that corner. But here is the battle now. It is me versus Leclerc versus Verstappen and Hamilton behind. This is where it matters most. It has to be now if we want to make a move and get around these guys. We do not want to let Leclerc be able to get away. We don't want to make a mistake while we're behind him. We want to pass him and then get around Verstappen and take off if we can. These guys definitely are a little bit quicker than what they were in qualifying. So that is a little disheartening because I wasn't hoping for an easy race, but I wasn't hoping for an extremely hard race. But these guys are definitely quicker than what they normally were in qualifying. But we skip ahead. You can see that gap is still right around a second. We just can't get closer. 117 all around, really. All of us are running 117s. All of us are running the exact same pace right now, so it's very hard to pass. And there goes Leclerc around the outside of Verstappen, trying to get him into the S corners. And can he get him? No, he cannot. Verstappen almost pinches his left, or almost pinches Leclerc's front right, and we're going to go 3 wide. I'm saying not today, and I'm going right around the outside of you guys as we get purple first sector, so we're on the way to a very fast lap. And you can see I just push Leclerc off of the track basically because I am not messing around with him right now. This is for the championship fight between me and Leclerc. Everybody else is just kind of there. This is now between me and Leclerc, so I am not going easy on my teammate. My teammate has not gone easy on me either. There was a lot of contact in Russia between me and him trying to go for a pass, and that has basically stuck throughout the last couple of rounds. So the gloves are off between me and Leclerc. That is a known fact, and he is still right there on top of me. Only about 7/10 of a second off, and in these cars, 7/10 is not much. So here we go, down the main straight. This is a very, very long straight. He will have DRS. Is he going to be able to gain? You can see up in the top left, he is gaining. So we need to watch out for that because look at the straight line speed of that car. He gained right around 4/10 of a second on us in just that corner, or just that straight, sorry. So here we go, second DRS straight. Is he going to get close enough? He's at 3/10 of a second. He's right there up our tail end. Is he going to go for a lunge? No, he is not. That is one worry that I have with him right now, is he has been very, very aggressive lately. I do not want him to end up risking throwing it up the inside on either of us and completely taking either one of us out of the race. That is something that we do not want. That will allow other people to close in on the championship as we understeer so badly. We get a warning for exceeding track limits. Just lost all grip on all 4 tires and then lock up into that corner. There is Leclerc. He is only right around 6/10, I want to say. Nope, right around a second off of us. So he's still right there. We get a little bit of an oversteer coming out of that corner. Not bad, but we are now approaching pit window, which was right around lap 7. So 2 laps left on these tires for the stint, and he is gaining. You can see I look back because I'm like, oh boy, here we go. He's going to go for it. So we touch that inside sausage curb. We completely missed that apex. Perfect execution. Really bad exit, and here he comes. He's going right around us with DRS. You can see that slot right in the rear end of him open up, but I go right up the inside. We're not playing this game. There's a little bit more contact than I wanted, And you can see now Hamilton is getting into the mix down in the bottom right-hand corner in that mirror. I leave Leclerc the space to let him get to our inside if he wants to get to our inside, but he does not want to go for it, and that is a very, very smart idea on his part. But here we go through the S corners. You can see all of us are still pretty tightly packed. So that is another thing. If I make a mistake, everybody is going to come by me because we're all still really packed in tight. Everyone's still fairly close. So if I make a mistake and lose the car, then everybody is going to come by me, and I'm going to have to go from dead last to first. And there is not what we wanted. We did not want any oversteer. We did not want any mistakes that could cost us something. And here comes Charles Leclerc down the main straight. We go all the way right to make sure he does not get up our inside. He's going to try and go around the outside of us. He almost gets it, but does not want to push the envelope. He's still there, though, but we give him the space. He's going to try and come around us once again with DRS assistance. You can see damage on his front wing, though. I don't know if that's going to affect him or not, but we stay right next to him, trying to get around him. And there is the pass once again in the same corner. He's still there, though, still right on our outside. So we're going to keep our car right here on the inside, make sure he does not get a run around the outside. Into the S corners once again. All of us are packed in, only separated by 0.7 of a second, me to Hamilton in third. All of us are only right around a second apart, so very, very close racing here in Mexico. As always, this track leads to some very good racing. But now we need to focus. We have a little bit of a cushion, only half a second, a little bit over, but no mistakes. And as I say that, I lose the rear end over the curb. There goes the entire pack. You can see everybody's coming by, and I damaged my front wing trying to spin myself around. So I need to pit now, way longer on a stint of medium tires than what I should be on. I shouldn't have to pit until lap 7 or 8 for these tires. There is the pit window now open because we just got onto the 7th lap. But as we're in the pits trying to get a new front wing and stuff, Charles is under immense pressure from both Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. You can see that both of them are really trying to push Charles into that corner. So we need them to continue to battle and just hold one another up. If they hold one another up, we can get back into that fight once everyone starts pitting. You can see we are so far out of it now at 20 seconds off of Jack Aitken in that Williams car just ahead of us in P21. So now fresh rubber, fresh front wing. Can we catch these guys before they pit? If we can catch these guys before their pit window, we will be able to get back into the fight for the lead with Charles. If we can't, we just need to do as much damage control as possible and hope to God that we finish right around the top 3. We do not want to lose too many points to these guys ahead of us, and we do not want to risk losing this championship lead, that is, which could very well end up losing us the championship if we lose it too much. But we skip ahead just a little bit, and now Leclerc is in the pits. He pitted for the white-walled hard tires, so he will not have the grip that we have on these yellow medium tires. As we set fastest lap once again on a different set of tires, as these tires, fresh rubber, very, very quick compared to the worn red-walled soft tires, which these guys all had before they pitted. So that is why I was able to catch up, was these guys were so slow with those worn out tires. But we were trying to catch Kvyat. We're now on him, and I think a lot more of the lead guys pitted. You can see down the pit lane, in fact, everybody pitted. Up front, though, Leclerc is under pressure from Lewis Hamilton, and we're gonna go for a gap. As Bottas came out of the pits, Kvyat tried going right, and we found that gap right in between them, and we wanted to go for it. So we went for it. We got through. It was very, very tight, and I did not think that we were going to get through that. But on to Pierre Gasly in the other AlphaTauri. another purple sector. So we are the fastest car on circuit right now, as is. And these guys all are still very, very close together. A little bit of contact between me and Fiat right there. We're going to stay right here on his inside, though. Make sure that he does not get around us into these S-corners. And now we chase down Perez. We need to put our head down and get onto Perez, who is only a second ahead of us. But a second is very, very difficult to make up on this track, as we all are extremely, extremely quick. As I cut that corner just a little bit, but now you can see Perez P7 as we make a massive dive into the stadium. You can see he locked up because he knew we were going to go for it. Tried to outbrake and locked up the front tire, leaving that window completely open for us, and we took it. So now it is the red Ferrari of Sebastian Vettel that we are going to go after. DRS wide open, overtake, rich mix, trying to get some overspeed, and look at the overspeed now while we're in the slipstream. He makes it very easy on us, not very defensive, and just lets us go right up the inside, as Norris and Sainz are now battling in these chicanes, and that allows us to get right up on top of the two McLarens. And DRS once again overtake. We're going to go 3 wide once again down this straight, right around the outside. Can we make it stick? Almost go off track. And I want to say that's Sainz. Yes, that's Sainz. Tried sticking it back in right around the outside of us, but we don't let that happen. We cut off that racing line so that way he can't get around us. And now we need to chase down Verstappen ahead of us, who has an mechanical issue. Not an electrical, a mechanical issue with that Red Bull that is just ahead of us. But here's the train of cars just behind us, and Perez is now going for a move around Norris, I want to say that is. Yes, that is Norris being under attack from Perez into the stadium. Out of the stadium, who will it be? They are still side by side, and Perez will get that position. No, he will not. Norris just holds it around the outside, fully committed. Down the start-finish straight they go. Who has DRS? Neither of them have DRS, and everyone else behind them does. That, I want to say, is Giovinazzi, and then who is that? That is another AlphaTauri. They went 4 wide down the start-finish straight. These guys behind us are all battling for out-of-points position, and that is Pierre Gasly. That looked like that bright red helmet really gives it away. But we are now all over Max Verstappen in that Red Bull, and you can see he is really, really struggling. So we need to get by him ASAP, because Hamilton and Leclerc are right around 7 seconds up the road. Hamilton is 6, Leclerc is right around 7. So here we go. We're going to get him right down this DRS straight. Jack Aitken is out of the session, and there's a VSC! Virtual safety car. We have to all slow down to neutralize the race. And what that is doing, because Verstappen has that issue, is that is letting Hamilton and Leclerc get farther and farther away from us, because Verstappen, with his issue, is already slower than the VSC as is. So you can see I'm just sitting, I'm waiting right now for this VSC to end. You can see down in the left-hand corner, that dot down in the bottom in that left-right chicane, that is Jack Aitken. He is stopped dead middle of the track right now, and we don't want to let Verstappen get away from us. And VSC is ending, and I'm going to try and time it, but I get caught sleeping. I get caught completely sleeping. Verstappen is still ahead of us, and you can see Jack Aitken is now off of the track. That is what allowed racing to continue, but Verstappen is still ahead of us, heading into the exact same part of the track that I was going to make a pass on him. This has now been an entire lap wasted trying to get around Verstappen, who is way slower than us. And now Hamilton 7.5 seconds ahead, and Leclerc is got to be 8 seconds. But here we go, DRS. We're going to do the same thing that we did to Perez on Verstappen, down the inside into the stadium. Easy pass, because he is struggling on that Red Bull, or in that Red Bull, sorry. But now you see the gap, 8 seconds to our teammate in first, who is on that hard compound tire. But as you just saw, that was some oversteer coming out of that corner. We are slowly losing our tires. Now, lap 15, 4 laps left of this race. We need to get onto it. 4.5 seconds between me and Hamilton. Can we get second and possibly overtake Leclerc for the lead of the race? That is the question. But I don't think we have enough, and Lando Norris is now out of the race. He has an engine issue and is now out of the race as well. So with that being said, that is another car that could possibly bring out a safety car, but no, he does not. He does not bring out the safety car for us, and thank God he did not, because that very well could have just ended our race. It very well could have revived our race, actually, if it was a full course safety car. I would have stayed on these tires and just tried to go for it, because these two ahead of me are quite a bit slower than me right now. I've gained right around 2.5 seconds in just around a lap, so these guys are for some reason slower than me. I also have been driving like an absolute bat out of hell right now, driving the tires off of this car, trying to catch these two, and that is working right now, as we are now only 1.2 seconds off of Lewis Hamilton. In second place, you can see Charles Leclerc is right there as well, but it is lap 17 of 18. Is there enough time for me to get by Hamilton? There's only very few passing opportunities before anywhere on this track, really. Only a couple of passing lanes into turn 1 and turn 4. So, can we get Hamilton heading into the final corner? If we can get him into the final corner and down the start straight, that would be ideal, because we would be able to pick him up and take off after our teammate, who is just right there, and we lock up. These tires are slowly starting to go from under us. We're losing grip. We're nearly out on fuel. We just ran out of ERS deployment, so now we're running this car on fumes as is, but look at the overspeed that we have with DRS and overtaking Rich. We go flying past that black Mercedes. He's still there and decided to back out of it right at the last second, but we have DRS coming down this other DRS straight, so we might be able to catch up Charles Leclerc just a little bit more. Can we get Charles in the final area, which is that stadium section? That is the aim right now, is we need to get closer. We are not close enough to Charles to get him in that stadium. We need to really close up in the S corners, hit them absolutely perfect, but we are almost out of fuel. I cannot run Rich Mix, and he is slowly starting to get away from me because I can't run Rich Mix. This is going to come down to, does he get oversteer out of any of these corners? Are those tires struggling right now, or is he going to be fine? Heading into this final corner, you can see the fans in the grandstands lighting up smoke bombs, confetti, everything. Now is the final corner. He does not make a mistake. I am out of breath. My throat hurts from all of this. And we do not win the Mexican Grand Prix here in 2020. What just happened? We now have lost our championship lead. That was a 7-point swing. We were only 5 or 6 points. So it may only be 1 point, but we have lost the championship lead after our best efforts. Charles Leclerc pulls it out of the bag when he absolutely needed it to keep himself in that championship, because we have been fastest the entire weekend other than qualifying 2. We have been the fastest car on track, and one mistake is what just put us on the ground, and we had to fight back. That was a way longer stint on the medium tires than what I would have wanted, but we made the best of it. We got all the way down from 21st, 22nd, and we got up to second. So that was an extremely well-fought race, but not the result that we wanted. As you can see, I was extremely quick, almost a second faster on those mediums. Actually, it was the medium tires that I set my fastest lap on. So we did get that extra point. If we didn't get that extra point and Leclerc did, I could very well be 2 points down in that championship standing. Maybe more. I will have to quickly do the math once we view the points. But Hamilton comes across the line in third. Max Verstappen holds off everyone behind him for that 4th place spot with that mechanical issue that he had. Carlos Sainz, Sebastian Vettel, Gasly, Giovinazzi, Perez, and Kvyat are the top 10 point scorers. Bottas just misses out in that Mercedes, losing more points for Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship, which we have already won here at Trangizi Designs. But Stroll, Ocon, Ricciardo, Russell, Albon, De Vries, Zhao, Latifi, and Magnussen are the only runners. That is 20 runners left. Lando Norris and Aitken both fell out of the race with mechanical failures. But there is the points now. That is after round 14 here in Mexico. 1 point separates me and Charles Leclerc heading into round 15 in Brazil. Another very, very tight racing circuit. Will the AIs be stronger than they were here in Mexico and Brazil? Make sure to stay tuned and find out, because this is going to come down to the wire now. There's no getting around this fight. Even if I win next round, it's the possibility of him winning Abu Dhabi and winning the championship is going to be there. I do not have a cushion going in to the final round anymore. If I won this round as well as last round in the United States, it would be a different story. I would have a little bit of a cushion, but I do not. So this championship is now down to the wire, and it is going to be an interesting one. So be sure to hit that big red subscribe button to make sure that you know when I post, as well as my Discord, which I have just put up. It will be down in the description of this video. Make sure to join. You will know anytime that I do any form of video live stream, any form of contest that I have going on in the Discord, you will know of right away. So make sure to join that. Go and check out my guys over at Swift Lifestyles. That is it over on the right hand side. Use code TDesigns15 for 15% off. Once again, that is TDesigns15 for everything off on their for 15% off on everything in their store. That includes gear and supplements, both extremely focused on gaming. Amazing products by amazing people. You can see down in the bottom left, that is subs goal. 206 of you. 206 race fans we have in the Trangizi Designs army. Can we get 250 of you? That is the question. Help me get to that goal, guys. Hit that big red subscribe button down below. Hit that like button as well if you enjoyed this video. As well as there are my socials, Trangizi Designs on Instagram and motocrosser_44 on Twitch. I don't really use Twitch very often, but if I do, there you go. You guys can and will have the opportunity to follow my Twitch for any time that I do stream on Twitch. So go check out all that stuff, guys. I will talk to you guys in the next one at round 15 in Brazil. So, as always, guys, take it easy. If it's easy, take it twice. And as always, make sure to stay classy, guys. We will talk to you guys in the next one. Have a good day. Have a good night. Wherever you are in the world. We will talk to you guys all in the next one.